Hey everyone, Jason here with Face Shift Games, and this is an exciting day. We just completed the campaign for Widgets Workshop yesterday, and then I got home from a business trip late last night, and this was waiting for me. This is the proof copy of everything that remains for Aetherspire that we haven't seen yet. So rolling right from one project to the next, let's dive right in. And take a look at the Aetherspire proof copy. Now, one thing, we had previously received various components and a couple different shipments from our manufacturer for Aetherspire. So I believe I have everything here between what's in here and the previous stuff that will make a complete copy of the game. And we will we'll go piece by piece and check it out. All right. There we have, oh, man, my word, that is big and heavy. This is the first true, what they call big box game that we've done as Phase Shift, where it's the Ticket to Ride box size. That is beautiful. Cooperative 3D tile placement and tower defense. So I'm seeing this all for the first time, so I'll look more closely later, but I am going to take a little bit of time as I look at each piece here, and just, there's if you want to store it bookend style. Okay, let's get right into it. First, take off the shrink. All right. Oh, I didn't look at the bottom. Oh. So we do have Spot UV on the logo, you can see there, and also these like ether lines. Oh, and our company logo. So a really nice effect with these purpley glowing kind of ether lines that are there. And we have that on all sides as well. Yep. Okay, so the bottom, there we go. I'll get it mostly in view. Everything seems to be aligned perfectly. Essentials there, contents, and the beautiful artwork. Oof, this box is solid. Okay, let's open it and take a look at what's inside Aetherspire. All right. Oh, so notice inside box printing. I don't even think we made a big deal of that during the campaign, but it's beautiful. We love to do that. So both the top and the bottom have inside printing as well. Normally that kind of thing you do as like a I'm just noticing there's a weird shadow effect with the inside printing. Normally we do that as like a stretch goal, but we kept the stretch goals to a minimum with this, so we didn't even bother. But I do see there's like a double, there's like a double logo going on the box. So I have to talk to the manufacturer about that. Is that true on all sides? No. The other sides seem fine. So there's one issue there on the box cover. Okay. All right, well, that's interesting. I don't know how that happens. That's weird. Okay. Okay, so what do we got? Rulebook. Version 1.0. Beautiful reference on the back. Coloring looks exactly right with our background. Artwork, kind of faint, which is exactly what we want. Paper quality is exactly what we'd expect there. We had this, I think we had this version of the rule book hooked up to the campaign page, so some of you may have already seen it, but I'm just glancing at making sure the boxes are appearing correctly, cutoffs, making sure transparencies are working right. So far, so good. This is a beautiful rule book, too. All right, well, I will scrutinize this closer later. Difficulty modes and glossary. And back. Yeah, that's okay. That's a win. Okay. We have poker cards. All right, we've got 4 player aids, turn order, win-lose condition, and basic actions on the back. Nice reference cards there. Iconography is coming through correct. Okay. Then we have our 4 water bosses, or ether fiends: fire, earth, and air. And we had to work with the manufacturer on these ether fiends. There was a clipping issue on the left side. These look perfect, so that we fixed the issue that they were seeing earlier. And everything is centered correctly. Beautiful. We got our earth, mesa, muck. And again, the boxes are all centered correctly with the right bleed and cutoffs. And fire. Oh, I love these arts. Okay. And earth. Water. Tide flow. Okay. Little on the darker side there, but that's just the way that the background artwork is coming through a little darker. I'll see if there's something we can do about that. Okay, and then these are the, what do they call them? The Spire adaptations. So for one of the difficulty modes, you can actually make it harder to build one of the spires. These are randomly assigned to the different spires here. And so this one, the spire might be crystalline. And in order to complete the spire, you must spend 4 extra shards of that spire's element at the time you complete it. Normally, you don't have to spend shards. And then once you do complete it, you flip it over, and now you get this immediate benefit for, well, this one's immediate. Other ones are, benefits for the rest of the game. During the supply step each turn, draw an extra elemental shard, for example. So these are really fun. Again, we didn't make a big deal of these during the campaign. I think we unlocked them towards the end, but we didn't have the final art. I mean, it's pretty simple anyway. You can just see it's mostly words and some background, but looks really beautiful, and these will make a nice addition to the difficulty modes. Okay, poker cards look exactly as I'd expect. I'd have a real concern if a manufacturer had problems doing poker cards. All right, then we have our beautiful character cards. Now, there are, this back here are the normal characters. And then this back, with the single, so you got 4 fists versus single fist. These are the solo, so there's 5 of these solo characters. Laurel the Oracle. Now, a bunch of these were unlocked during the campaign. I think we started with 6 characters total, and now we're up to, I think, 15. And each one has just beautiful artwork here. So, and they'll indicate here, number 1, that's the single player, plus the back. So those are the single player heroes, and then of course, and then we have a little diamond here for the starter characters. So there's 5 of those. 1, 2, 3 should be the first 5. Yep. So Zephyr, Rose, Glenn, of course, featured on the box cover as well. Eve, the Battle Mage, and Scarlet, Conjurer. They all look great. And then the 5 other multiplayer, I think we call them advanced characters. They're really not that advanced, but, for your first game, don't play with these because they're a little bit more advanced. Summer, also on the front cover. Brooke, the Illusionist. Ooh, that one, the shadow effects there are intentional, unlike Aetherspire on the box cover there. Lily, and Dawn. I love this. This may be my favorite art. I love that art. Okay. So, beautiful. Character cards. Let's move on. Now we get to some of the really fun stuff. I'm going to move the the box in the rule book, because we're going to start having things like the board. Well, let's lay it out, and then we'll start putting stuff on it. Oh yes, this is a 6-fold board. Trying to do this while on camera here. A little awkward. Okay. Boom. So, wow, that's big. That is that invasion track. That looks even bigger in person. We'll put stuff on it. I wonder. Well, it's not too big because the spots over here are for the poker cards. Those should be sized perfectly. We'll see. I'll put the poker cards on it, but man, that track is just huge. It's very easy to see, that's for sure. And then we, of course, have our 3 spots for the large tiles in the center, and then the very center gets the ether core and the walls, and then up in the top left there is our elemental wheel. All the iconography is beautiful, easy to read. Colors look correct. Artwork is vibrant. Okay, that lays perfectly flat. Love it. Okay, let's see some tiles. Oh, here, let's do really quick. I mentioned over here poker cards. So we have. So you'll place 1 random down for each of the 4 elements. You shuffle these up at the start. Random order, and you can even do a random assortment between the 4 levels of bosses, and as you can see, they do fit perfectly there. So it is sized exactly right, and then you flip them face up once they awaken. And if you were using those Spire adaptations that I showed you, essentially you place that side. Let's say that was under Tide Flow. Tide Flow is crystalline, has that additional requirement, and then once you defeat Tide Flow, now you have completed it, and you get that bonus effect. So that's how that works. Nice and easy. Okay, excellent. Let's keep going. What's in here? Tons of punchboard. Tons of punchboard. Boom. And by the way, there's the box bottom, and you can see again, we have a neat artwork from the game marketing. Okay, put that away. So these are the spires. So I guess we'll start right with that. That's going to be the most interesting or intricate punchboard sheet, and there's a reason why. It's because these are 3D constructible. So let's pop that out. We'll pop that out. The center part is garbage, but this is important. This has scoring lines, so it folds like that, creating a gorgeous 3D spire. And then that folds down or slides down, locking it in place. And there is the Earth Spire. Okay, so we'll have to see if we want to recommend using a dab of glue at the top, or I couldn't remember if we had special notches, but it certainly fits snug. It's just a matter of if you want it to be locked in, or you want to be able to disassemble it and lay it flat. But that works perfectly. I'll leave that there. And then, of course, there's 4 of these. They punch out beautifully. And then our Inish token. That's the side telling you that you have a reroll, and then you've used your reroll. Beautiful. Let's make 1 more of these. I'll make the fire one. Actually, I'll just make all 4. Air. Yeah, these assemble beautifully. Nice and easy. And water. Boom. Okay, let's keep going. Tiles. Alrighty, our first tiles here. So these are 2 of the water tiles. That's large size. Color depth looks perfect. Backside, of course, are the rainbow. And we got that really nice rainbow effect all the way around. Perfect. And we have the nice transparency effect for where there's a tile overlay, like those can hold the medium tiles. And the backs, of course, should be identical. All right, so we were pretending to place these out. We'll just keep building as we go here. Then we've got another large water. We've got our earth. Woo! Shake the camera. There's a nice earth. Put that one there. Let me slide this over more center. Okay, that's good enough. Ish. Okay. Sweet. So that's that. Yeah, then there's 10 of these. They punch out nice and simple. Loving that. Really high quality. There's fire. Fire with a special ability and 2 small rooms. Okay. Oh, let's flip this one to the rainbow side. There we go. Okay, so over here we would place the stack of tiles and one more set of the air. And that's that. Okay. Then what do we got? Then we have some mediums and smalls. Perfect. Again. Centered perfectly. Special abilities. The iconography looks great. I won't punch out everything, but I just want to get a few because I'm going to start building so you can see what this thing actually looks like on the board. Just make 2 stacks over there. I'll punch out a few more. Yep. Excellent. This one required special artwork right at the end to get the iceberg effect down here while still having the water effect in the upper corners. We didn't want, because originally this one was all like ice, but what happened was that was very similar to, where's some of our air? We didn't want this ice tile for the water to be confused with our air tiles, and you can see the coloring there is pretty similar. So when this was all ice, it was a problem. Here they're very distinguishable. That's clearly water. Nice upgrade we did right at the end there. Okay, and what else? So then another sheet of this. I won't punch that out just yet, but everything looks great. And then last sheet here is a whole bunch more of the small tiles. And also our bonus tokens, Spire completion bonus tokens. So this is when you complete a Spire, you can then choose one of these tokens that you haven't used yet, draw 3 more shards, and then you flip it to the use side, roll 4 more dice, rebuild all the walls in the center that have been destroyed, or draw 2 new rooms. Okay, so those are nice and simple. Kind of keep them to the side, and then as you use them, flip them over. And so let's take from the components I previously got and start building a little bit so we can see what this thing looks like. So here were the pillars that we had previously received. Normally we'd put the pillars on the board right over here. Just kind of pan over there. So that's where we would normally keep the pillars. And of course, as we're going, we're loading pillars into these spots. And then you might draw, hey, I did draw another earth tile, so that would be a perfect one to build up there. And then another 4. And maybe on top of that, I'm going to place a rainbow. And now on top of the rainbow, I can only put a small tile. But if I get that third small tile, then of course, well, those would be bad. But let's say somewhere in here is an earth. Or I would do a rainbow. Yeah, I didn't even punch out any earth, so we'll say that I did a rainbow there. And that is 4 tall. Congrats. And then we take our Aetherspire and boom, we now have a completed earth. All right, and then we have, of course, in the center of the table would be our ether core and the 4 walls. So we got earth, air, fire, water. And then invading the fortress are the invaders. By the way, this also may be somewhat new for those of you watching that were part of the campaign. We ended up doing the custom cut for these wood invaders so that they have that same shape, that hourglass shape that they've had. You may recall we originally started with the plastic components. That turned out to be cost prohibitive, so we didn't do the plastic. Then these were just going to be wooden, like rectangles. But these, however, are way cooler with their custom shape, and they look beautiful on the board. Let's say that. And so got 40 of those, 10 for each of the elements. And this is the bag that they had previously sent me. So all of these invaders, of course, would be in the bag. Except the black one. Did they give me the black one? Yes, there it is. This black one is used for the invader track, so that starts on that big track over there on the right. All the rest go in the bag. Drawing randomly to see what invades the fortress. Love it. And what does that leave us with? There's the Inish token, as I showed you before. That's the cardboard one. Comes with the base game. And then in here is, for those of you who back the campaign, which should be pretty much everyone watching, we have the metal with a dark wash. Beautiful effect here. So this metal first player or active player token. Love that. And it's the same, essentially the same art, just in metal. Beautiful. What else? Oh, the dice, of course. We had a weird snafu with the dice. They gave us, first the color was off. This is now the correct coloring. And the size, the first ones they sent me were gigantic. I gave them to Tim. He can have them as like a heirloom special printing of the dice, but these are the appropriate size, and they are still nice size. These are good size D8s and custom, and the printing and the iconography is just gorgeous. So I think that is everything. Cards, boards, tiles, tokens. We got the invaders, the walls, ether core, pillars. Of course, you'll have shards up here. You kind of lay them down on the elemental wheel. I'll lift up the camera over here. So here we've got a couple water shards. And so that's all very nice, the way that works up there. The whole thing is beautiful. It's big and chunky in a good way. And of course, there's a lot of these pillars. 50 is the number. fit nicely there in a big pile. But that is it. I'll have to really scrutinize everything. Rulebook and the box. And so far, the biggest thing that I have to fix, no matter what, is right there front and center on the cover. I don't know how that happened, but we will make sure we get that fixed. And for now, I'm going to sign off. I think this was a great walkthrough of all the cool components. And we will look forward to talking with you soon as the project continues. Alrighty, take care, folks. Bye-bye.